Welcome to Sparklebritts, where we put misconduct on display, explore police and legal content, protect rights and demand accountability.
Right, are you going to place me in handcuffs now?
No, I'm not.
Well, I think you need to.
Are you a threat to me physically?
No, I'm not. I'm a peaceful person. I'm sat on this bench by this river, minding my own business. I'm socially distanced. I'm not infecting anyone around me. There is nobody around me.
Alright, so, as we said, you don't want to be reported for the offence.
I don't mind.
A girl sat alone on a bench by the river, claiming that she was doing mental exercise, that is, meditating, relaxing her mind, and that this was completely legal under the social distancing regulations. The police approached her, repeatedly interrogated her, and insisted that this was not within the spirit of the law, but she protested fiercely. The law does not specifically regulate the form of exercise, so mental exercise is also legal. The two sides argued fiercely about how to interpret the law, even comparing English law and Napoleonic law. She firmly refused to accept the fine, was ready to be arrested to defend her rights, and was finally handcuffed and led away, remaining calm, even somewhat sarcastic. Did the police do the right thing? Watch the full clip and support this auditor by subscribing to his channel. The link is in the description.
Hello, officers.
Alright, hi, so if you don't remember me, I'm Tom on Peace Branch. I work at Land Headquarters. We spoke about 45 minutes or so ago.
We did, yes.
How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you, officer. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you for asking. So when we spoke earlier, I'd asked you why you're out. You said you were exercising mentally.
I am, yes.
Okay. I said, well, I don't think that's in the spirit of what's happening.
Well, I'm in the spirit of social distancing. I'm sat here on my own. I'm not infecting anyone.
Do you know,
that's the actual spirit.
Right, do you know who else has been sat on this?
I don't know, and quite frankly, I'm not afraid, to be honest. If I catch something, I catch it.
Right, well,
I'm only infecting myself.
So,
no one sat near me.
Well, that's because I've just moved everyone else on.
That's good, yeah.
Okay. Right, so what I'm going to ask is, would you be willing to go home?
I am willing to go home once the sun sets, yes.
Okay, well, you've been sat here for about an hour or so.
I have, yeah, indeed. Exercising mentally.
I know, which is not one of the valid reasons to be out. And
well, it is valid reason. Exercising once a day is a valid reason under the law.
And what our disagreement is about is whether this is exercising mentally.
It is, yes.
Physically. So I don't.
Well, I'm sorry, but the law doesn't specify what form the exercise has to take.
It doesn't.
Well, there you go. So I'm within my rights to exercise mentally once a day outdoors for as long as I like.
And this is where the disagreement is going to arise.
Right, okay, so the letter of the law, what does it say?
It's exercising.
Right, which I'm doing, yes. I'm meditating here by the lake, by the river.
Well, my interpretation of it is that it's physical exercise.
But that's your interpretation, that's not what the law says, is it?
Okay, and the only way we're going to find this out is by being tested in some way, which
Indeed.
Which I really
I'm happy.
Today.
Happy with that.
Okay.
That's not what the law says.
Okay. Okay, so what I'm going to ask is if you would like to take a slow walk home.
I will once the sun sets, yes. I'll take a slow walk home.
Sunset is today?
Probably in about another hour.
Alright, so that's a bit too long for my liking.
Well, that's not to my liking. I like, you know.
So what I'm going to point out is that you are out in breach of regulations.
Not really, no. I'm out in total compliance with regulations. I'm out exercising once a day, exercising mentally. That's what the regulations say.
So that we're not going over old ground, can we agree that we disagree on the interpretation of exercise?
We do, yeah. We disagree on the interpretation of the law. Yes.
Specifically exercising.
Specifically exercising, yes we do. Yeah, it's not defined in law.
Okay.
What exercising means. Where's the legal definition?
Is there any other lawful reason why you might be out of your house today?
Yeah, I'm going to go shopping and pick up some supplies.
Okay. Are you on your way to do that now?
After sunset, yes, I will be doing exactly that on my way home.
Okay, well again, that's not in keeping with the legislation.
Well, sorry, what legislation?
Okay, well if I'm going to read from it.
Yeah, read please.
Okay, so we've got the health protection, coronavirus restrictions, regulations.
Is that an act of parliament already, or is that just a bill?
Okay, this is, to my knowledge...
It's not an act of parliament, is it?
Right, well, I'm going to deal with you today by way of asking you to go home.
You can ask all you like, but I'm within my rights to say no.
That without being... being out of the house without lawful excuse.
Sorry, I'm exercising.
Okay, but we're disagreeing.
I have a lawful excuse and I'm going to go shopping.
Is it against the regulations?
No,
So,
not at all.
Unless...
I'm allowed out to exercise and to shop.
Madam.
I'm out here to do both of those things.
Alright, madam, so that I can get some conversation time, and I'm more than happy to give you some conversation time, would you grant me a little bit of time to speak?
Indeed.
And then
Go
I'll
ahead.
give you a fair
Sorry,
chance
officer,
to
yes.
No, thank you very much for understanding. So, what I don't want to do is go over the top at all.
Good.
As I say, we spoke earlier.
We did, yeah.
Okay, you've been out for about an hour or more now.
I have, yep.
You've been smoking and drinking?
Yes, I have been, yeah.
Okay. Alright, and we've had this disagreement over what is the definition of exercise.
Of exercise, yes, we have, yeah.
So,
It's not defined in law.
if you're not going to make your way home now, or as you said, to the shops, or otherwise, if you're going to continue to sit here, then...
Minding my own business and social distancing. For and on the record, there's nobody around me at all here. Okay, I'm sat here entirely on my own. Yeah,
Okay, so can I continue to speak, please?
yeah.
So if you don't move on, I'm going to have to take action. That action will come if you issue a fixed penalty notice.
I'm sorry, but I won't accept a fixed penalty notice.
Okay. Were you not to accept a fixed penalty notice?
You can place me under arrest and take me to the station.
Okay.
Go right ahead, do that.
So before I do that, though, what I would
I'm
like-
not going to accept a fixed penalty
No, I know.
notice because I'm not breaking the law.
I know you just said that, okay. But before we go down the route of arrest, I really do want to check to make sure there is no other lawful reason why you might be out of the house.
I'm out shopping.
You're not.
I'm going shopping on the way home.
Now?
No, I said I want to stay here for sunset.
Okay. Right, is it...
I'm going to stay here. Look, there's the sun. It's very low in the sky.
Madam, is there any other reason? Is there anything happening at home that might give you cause to be out?
I wouldn't know because I'm not there.
Okay. There's no welfare issues at home or anything like that?
Indeed not. Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. So, well then the first part, as you're not going home...
I am going to go home after the sun sets. I told you, I am going home.
Now?
I'm not going to sit here all night long.
Okay, madam. Will you go home now?
No, not now, no.
I'm going to speak now.
I'm not going to go home now.
I'm going to speak now, and I'd ask you not to cut me off while I do it.
No, I'm not
So
cutting
I'm
you
going
off.
to be reporting you for the offence.
Okay, go ahead, but I'm not going to willingly give you my details. You're going to have to place me under arrest and take me to the station where I can get proper legal representation.
Okay.
Yep,
But could you let me speak, please?
yep.
Okay, so I'll be reporting you for the offence.
Go ahead.
Failing to comply with the health protection coronavirus.
Sorry, yeah, but
Let me speak, just a second.
yeah.
Right, I'll give you a chance to reply. I will. Okay. So I'm going to be reporting you for the offence. I propose to do that by the issuing of a fixed penalty notice. Okay. It can be dealt with here, and it can be dealt with now. Okay. The issuing of a fixed penalty notice, you do have a right to appeal it.
I'm sorry, yeah, I don't, I'm not even going to accept it.
But what I'm saying is you would have
Do you know, sorry, officers, can I, okay, go ahead, sorry, I want to speak to you in a bit.
I'll give you the...
Right, under English common law,
Okay.
can I say, under English common law, we don't live under Napoleonic law here. Like the law in France, right, Napoleonic law, it says anything expressly not permitted is prohibited, right? That's Napoleonic law. Under English common law, we say anything expressly not prohibited is allowed. That's English common law, right? Anything not expressly prohibited is allowed under English common law. It's not expressly prohibited that I sit here exercising my mind on this bench. That's not expressly prohibited under English common law. And you, officer, you've taken an English common law oath of office to uphold our English common law.
So the deal about us having fair time to speak and being able to hear and understand each other. May I speak? Okay, so I'm going to be reporting you. for the
Report.
question,
Okay, that's fine.
of failing to
Please
be out.
do, yeah. For failing to
Madam,
move off of this park
madam,
bench, yeah.
please speak.
Yeah.
You'll get a chance to reply. Okay, so I will be reporting you, okay, for failing to comply with the coronavirus regulations. In that, I deem that you're out without lawful excuse. Now, I know you have
You
provided,
deem, the law doesn't.
Yeah, and I know that you've given an excuse and all that will be noted, okay? But at this time, I'm going to caution you now. So please listen, and I will explain the caution afterwards and give you a chance to...
Go ahead.
Okay, so you do not have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you do not mention now something which you might later rely on in court, and you can do so may be given evidence. So what that means, first and foremost, is you do not have to say anything. Okay, that's your right to not say anything. But it's also your opportunity to give your account and your side of the story.
Which I've done.
Okay, and all that will be recorded. Okay, I know you're recording me.
Yeah,
that I'm recording
exactly,
you.
for mutual benefit.
Okay. So, in order for me to report you, I'm going to require your name and address.
I'm sorry, but is that a request or is that a demand, officer?
Well, I need your name and address.
Is it a request or is it a demand?
Well, in this light, it's a demand.
What? So it's that you're allowed to demand under the law, are you, or request?
In order for me to issue a fixed penalty notice.
I'm not going to accept that.
I know, but let me go through it. Okay, I need your name and address.
I'm willing to give that to you, officer.
Should you be unwilling to give it?
Yeah.
Then I will have to ascertain your name and address in another way.
Okay, go right ahead.
Which is going to be by arresting you.
Yeah, please do so.
Okay, so
I'm happy.
With the time at 13 minutes past 6, I'll be arresting you. The arrest is under section 24 of the Police and Criminal Evidence Act. Okay, in that, I require your name and address in order to process you for the offence of contravening the coronavirus regulations.
Right, are you going to place me in handcuffs now?
No, I'm not.
Well, I think you need to.
Are you a threat to me physically?
No, I'm not. I'm a peaceful person. I'm sat on this bench by this river, minding my own business. I'm socially distanced. I'm not infecting anyone around me. There is nobody around me.
Alright, so, as we said, you don't want to be reported for the offence.
I don't mind.
Madam,
Look, you're allowed to take me to the station if you want to. You're going to have to.
Alright, well that's what we're doing now.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Okay, so could you come in the van?
Yep.
Alright, let's go.
Okay. Are you going to place me in the handcuffs?
No, I'm not going to handcuff you.
Okay.
You seem like a reasonable person.
Well, I am reasonable, yeah, and I'm reasonably applying my right to exercise once a day. I've been sat here just for like an hour and a half, right, exercising my mind under the law. Yeah, by the way, you didn't, when you gave me like caution, you didn't ask me, do you understand?
Would you like us to repeat the caution and ask if you understand?
If you give me a chance.
I was going to say, when you gave it, you didn't say that.
Do you understand the caution?
No, because do you know what in legalese that means stand under?
Sorry?
In legalese, understand, it means stand under. Okay. Do I stand under it? No, I don't.
Right, this lady's been arrested.
Yeah, I've been arrested for sitting on a park bench.
Right, could you come up to the van, please?
Yeah, sure, of course. No problem.
Yeah, perfect.
We've had a complaint.
A complaint?
Yes.
That what? That I'm taking photographs in public?
That and that you swore at.
I don't think so. Got everything on camera.
Right. So you haven't been swearing at them
No.
or anything? Right. What
Not
are you
at all.
actually taking photos of then?
Whatever I want in public.
Right.
Okay?
But when you're taking of them coming and going from work, you can obviously understand the concern
No.
of that.
Am I being detained?
Are you being
detaining me?
detained?
Are you? Are you detaining me now?
Am I detaining?
Yeah.
I'm not detaining.
An independent reporter arrived at Durham Prison to investigate a shocking incident. A 32-year-old prisoner had just committed suicide after being kept in the dark about his mother's death and suspected drug use in the prison. While filming on the street, he was repeatedly approached by prison staff and police, questioned, and even accused of violations such as swearing and intentionally getting on the prison bus, even though he insisted that all activities were legal and had video evidence. The police's reasons for doing the work changed constantly, from accused of swearing to intentionally getting on the bus, then asking to check the filming equipment, but could not provide specific evidence. The cameraman reacted strongly, pointing out the absurdity and contradiction, even accusing the prison and police of making up stories and slander, while continuously emphasizing his legal rights. Who is right, who is wrong? Keep watching to discover the next surprising developments.
Alright.
Yeah, perfect.
We've had a complaint.
A complaint?
Yes.
That what? That I'm taking photographs in public?
That and that you swore at.
I don't think so. Got everything on camera.
Right. So you haven't been swearing at them
No.
or anything? Right. What
Not
are
at
you
all.
actually taking photos of then?
Whatever I want in public.
Right.
Okay?
But when you're taking of them coming and going from work, you can obviously understand the concern
No.
of that.
Am I being detained?
Are you being
detaining me?
detained?
Are you? Are you detaining me now?
Am I detaining you?
Yeah.
I'm not detaining you, I'm
Right,
just coming
okay,
to
see ya.
speak to you.
I don't want to talk to you, thanks. Don't want to talk to you. It's my legal right. I don't want to talk to you.
Right.
I'm not committing any offence.
Right, but listen to what I've got to say then.
No, I don't want to listen to you. I don't have to.
Right. They've said that you've been telling them to F off, so you have technically committed an offence.
No, I haven't. I
Now,
got the evidence.
You might have it on evidence.
Yes, I do.
But for us to investigate that,
No.
then we could have to arrest you.
No
to
way.
then witness. Yes.
Well, you know what?
That's where we are.
You know
Now,
what?
I'm not wanting to avoid that, because if there's a reason as to why you're here, that's
You need
fine.
to contact your sergeant then, don't you?
No, I don't.
Listen, I've been to just about every prison in the UK, right?
Right.
Very seldom do I get harassed by cops.
I'm
Don't
not harassing
harass
you.
me.
I'm not harassing you.
Well, I don't want to talk to you any further. I'm going. Okay? I'm going. I'm going. I'm going. Right?
If you're causing them alarm and distress.
No,
by
I'm not
swearing,
causing them. I'm not swearing, no.
Right,
There's no
the
evidence of
you
that.
have, and you're saying
No
you've got
way.
evidence of that.
No
so
way.
Do you want to show me the evidence of that then?
Well, it's on my hard drive, isn't it?
Right.
I don't have to show you anything.
Well,
I've
there's
not
an
committed
offence,
any offence.
But there has been. If there's been a
No, there's not.
offence, if you've
Well,
been
mate,
telling
do you
them
know?
to F off.
Well, I haven't.
Well, they're saying you have. You're
Well, you
saying
go back
haven't.
and get a statement to that in writing.
Well, I would
Somebody's
do, but
willing
that
to
would
go and
require
make
us then arresting you, and I don't
Well,
want
I
to
don't care
avoid
because
that.
500 quid from 0 seconds to 1 hour with handcuffs on me, even if it's just one handcuff on my wrist, is 500 quid minimum. Minimum. Been there, done that.
That's why I'm avoiding that.
Well, I'd avoid if I were you, just get back in the car and say there's no crime being committed, because there is none. Refer to your ACPO guidelines 2010, which Chief Trotter said photographing in public is legal, it's perfectly lawful, police can be expected, there's no expectation of privacy in public.
Right. Have I mentioned anything about the filming? Have I mentioned
No,
filming me?
you're just
the
lying.
public order.
That's lying.
It's not lying.
It is.
It's
That's
not
lying. It's making a false report. If somebody in there has said that I swore, then that's false.
Well, that's why we're speaking to you.
That's false. It's false, and I had money in my pocket, and you'll be sent for retraining.
No, I won't get retraining, because if someone makes an allegation, we have to investigate it.
Yeah.
Now, if I wanted to do that, you would have been arrested, I would have seized the hard drives, but I wanted to avoid that, because it's just as easy talking to you to find out what's going on.
I don't have to talk to you. Look, this place, a mother, I'm doing a story, right? A mother last week topped herself. Took 3 days for the guy who's a prisoner in there, 32-year-old prisoner, to find out, because they couldn't be bothered to tell him, and he topped himself overnight. Okay? That's my story. Okay?
Right.
That's what I'm here for.
I can't comment on that. I don't
Right.
know what's happening, what the circumstances around that are.
Well, I'll just tell you what I'm doing. I've got a perfectly legitimate reason for being here. I was here last year, talked to the chief of security there, told him what I was doing, and after that he was fine with it.
I haven't said the issue about you here following us or anything. It was the swearing that we're concerned
There
about.
was none. There was none. So you can go back and clarify that if you wish. I'm more than happy to stay here while you clarify that, because when you go there and say, right, if you've lied because he's got it on camera, then it's an offence to tell you.
Which it will be, because if you haven't done that, then he's
I haven't.
telling you that.
I haven't. So you go and clarify that. If you get a complaint, then come back and arrest me. Then I'll show you the evidence. Then it's money in my pocket and someone else arrested.
It doesn't work like that. That's why we're avoiding the arrest.
Yeah, it does. It does.
That's why we avoid an arrest. If I wanted to arrest you, you would have been arrested instantly, and I'm trying to avoid that.
Don't threaten me with arrest.
I'm not threatening.
Because arrest doesn't wash with me.
What I've actually said is, I don't want to have to arrest. That's why I haven't.
Well, you're not going to arrest because I've done nothing wrong.
No. Well, that's what we've come to establish.
Well, you need to establish it in there, not here, because I've done nothing. I've done absolutely nothing.
Right? And we're
Nothing.
speaking to you and getting your side.
I had an old guy come up to me and say, "You're not allowed to do this." Yes, I said, "Yes, I am." I said, "It's perfectly lawful." He said, "Well, I'm going to sort it out." And he walked back in, and that's the only contact. That's the only contact I had with an old man who came out later.
Was he a prison warden, or was he just...
Yeah, he was an old man. Right. It looked like he was finishing for the day. He come up to me because I'm on public property. I don't touch private property.
Have you been trying to get on the vans?
Sorry?
Have you been trying to get on the vans?
No.
They've alleged that you were trying to get on the vans as they've been opening the rooms to go in.
Really?
Yes.
Well, mate, you go and take a statement and come and arrest me, because I'd like this one to go to court. I really like for this to go to court.
Well, that's all we're asking for.
No. Not happening, mate. They're a bunch of liars. They're a bunch of liars.
Right. Well,
absolute liars. Right. Well, I'm going now because I'm bored of this conversation. I've done nothing wrong. You know, I'm going. I'm doing my lawful activity, which is photographing in public, which is a perfectly normal, lawful thing to do. Okay. No different from walking a dog or jogging down the road. You don't stop people from jogging down the road, do you, or walking their dogs?
I haven't said about the filming, I've said about the swearing.
I haven't swore.
Why, that's what I was speaking to you about. You're saying you haven't.
No, I haven't.
You're saying you haven't get on the van. That's
I
what
haven't.
was speaking to you about.
And by the way, you can't just arrest somebody for a Section 5 anyway, because swearing, although I have not, swearing itself is not an offence. There is absolutely no offence of swearing.
If you're causing distress,
mate, it's got to happen more than once for one thing. I know the law just as well as you do, mate. I've been doing this quite a long time, and I deal with people like you all the time. I've been to Franklin Prison, I've been to Durham Prison, I've been to Akeley Heads Police Station, I've been everywhere. I've been to Dumfries,
so
you name it.
From here, are you? Where are you from? Do you just travel around?
Well, I'm from here today, because that's where I am today.
Right, okay. Do you want to pass any of your details?
No,
No?
not required to. Not required to.
I'm just asking you.
Yeah, and I'm just telling you, no. I've done nothing wrong. They're liars. They're absolute liars, mate. I'm not that stupid, right? I don't swear at people. I do public photography and I put it on the internet. Because, you know, it's a test of what the police do in these situations, whether they violate your rights or whether they respect your rights.
Passed your test?
Well, mostly, yeah.
Mostly?
Mostly.
I thought it would have been 100%.
Well, you haven't arrested me.
Durham now, man.
Yeah, well, I've been here a few times.
Right, and have you ever been harassed by officers in Durham?
I had a good interaction outside Franklin Prison last year.
Right.
Sometimes I wear masks, see?
Right.
And I had my Guy Fawkes mask on down there, and the staff there weren't too fussed at me filming. I got assaulted by a prison officer. They've got a team that do a CCTV surveillance around the perimeter. Yeah, well, the guy come out and bloody hit me.
Well, that's not on.
Anyway, Sergeant came out. I had a nice chat with him.
So that's all being reported?
Yeah.
Right. Just if you disclose a crime, we obviously have to make sure, because if you're saying you've been assaulted, we have to make sure that that's being investigated under NCRS.
Yeah, no, that's not concern. But yeah, the Sergeant was alright, and then I had a nice chat with I think he's probably semi-retired, this old fella. Out in your Akeley Heads or Akeley Woods? It's a non-operational
police station, yeah.
Well, I just got there. I had a gas mask on, actually. Not a real gas mask. It's one you get on Amazon. It's elasticated, right? It's not a real. It's just a phony. Looks like a real high-grade gas mask.
Well, you can understand people's sort of issues if you're walking around with a gas mask.
No.
You must do.
No, of course not. As a matter of fact, you know what? I've been handing out Kleenex to police. Now, because the World Health Organization has said that coronavirus is a much bigger world threat than terrorism. So I was out at the Operational Tactical Training Centre in Gateshead, handing out tissues, saying put your guns down. I have tissues, because now you're not the legal police anymore. You're the feelings police, because if somebody's feelings are hurt, you run and go and arrest everyone. Meanwhile,
what's your back with this road here?
Well, I'm 57 years old. I can look after myself, like.
I know that.
I'm on the public.
When you're talking to us and there's cars coming down here, because it's not really an accessible road. Is it?
Well, you're not right for my female. Anyway, so this guy, old guy, I just got up to there. He's the drone operator, for the police. He's just trying out his new drone. So we had a nice chat. That was probably about 6 months ago too. So I mean, the whole point is, sometimes I've got an ACPO sandwich board, it's a big one, right? It's a big sandwich board, which the ACPO photography guidelines, it was given out in 2010. I didn't bring it today because it's a bit windy. I've also got the Justice and Criminal Act Section 26, which deals with corrupt cops. Are you going to go to a real call now? Or?
I am. The job we're on.
So what is it that you make in the documentary, did you say?
Well, today's piece was on the fact that this 32-year-old he managed to he got a hold of so much heroin.
Whilst in prison?
Yes.
Oh, right, okay.
He took it all overnight, and he was found stone cold the next morning.
Right.
So he's only 32, and he said he spent most of his life inside. But he just found out his mother had died. And she died, like, they didn't tell her on the day or the next day. It was like three or 4 days later.
Right.
So that was an article. I thought I'd come out because I'd been here last year, so I thought I'd just do a little follow-up, like so.
So you don't actually live in Durham then?
Yeah.
You just travel around and do documentaries.
I live where I want to.
I'm just making conversation.
Yeah. Well, I don't reveal details, see, because I'm living in Durham today until I leave.
It's just conversation. Conversation.
Yeah. Well, you always always try to get information. That's the police's nature. So, I'm quite aware of that. So. Yeah. I don't know why they would lie like that. It's a bit silly, because if you're going to make accusations like that, you need to be able to back them up. And I've got three cameras. I had 2 on it.
Thank you for watching. Police using vague justifications to stop, question or detain people without cause is a growing concern. Simply being in public is not a crime, and officers cannot demand compliance without legal justification. Whether it's intimidation tactics, unlawful demands for ID, or escalating situations without cause, standing your ground and recording every interaction is key to holding them accountable. Always ask questions, challenge unlawful orders, and never let your rights be ignored. Subscribe for more UK police accountability videos, real encounters, and important lessons on knowing your rights. Stay informed, stay empowered, and never stop filming.